Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to IRC's Season 2, Round 2 of Lemon Ultimate, sponsored by the Race Sims. We are back and we are here for the Round 2, which is the Bahrain outer layout. And in the combox is me, Swagger Turbo, and accompanying me is Tanish. And the streamer for today is Deepak. So let's go into this round. And yeah, we'll just quickly go through the prize pool and everything. What's up, Tanish? How are you today?
Hey Swagger, pretty excited for this race, We are back at the Sakir Desert. Pretty demanding circuit on the tires. It's not gonna be easy for the drivers in the race. They really have to manage their tires and get the best out of it.
Yeah, of course, it's gonna be hot for these guys, even in the game. So yeah, we'll have to see what kind of strategy these guys use. And we did see in round one, it was pretty dominant by the championship leader right now, who is Atul. So we'll have to see what kind of race strat he gets into this race. And yeah, the quali will be starting real soon.
Yeah, I mean it's just one race, so we never know which driver comes out on top in the end. So we can say, yep, Atul did amazingly well in the last race, but race by race, we never know who's gonna perform or outperform his car, I would say.
Oh yeah, last season we did see a couple of things here and there, but yeah, let's just talk about the prize pool as of now. We have first place getting 3,500 rupees, second place 2,500, third 1,800, fourth is 1,300, fifth is 1,000 bucks, sixth 800, seventh 600, and eighth place is 500. So we also have a lucky draw. Of course, the TNC is basically you have to participate and finish every single race that is there, and two people will be selected at random. A draw will be done, and I think that also will be live. So you guys can follow that as well. And two lucky winners will be getting 500 bucks each.
That's a good amount, I would say. I mean, you just have to be consistent and take part in these races, and based on the terms and conditions, you still have a chance to win something out of this league. So that is a good initiative by IRC, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely a great initiative. And yeah, just the timings is mostly 9:15 that we usually start, the quali at least. So that's what we are looking at right now as well, while we quickly just load up into the game. But yeah, we've already finished with Sebring. It was a pretty bumpy track, and now they're getting into a very different track compared to Sebring, of course. And yeah, just waiting for the quali to start. We still have a minute and I think 40 seconds left for the practice to get over. And I did see a couple of cars on track, just grinding and trying to get better and better as well. So let's see how the quali goes for these guys.
Yeah, and it's still 1 minute remaining in practice, if I am not wrong. So drivers are just waiting for the quali to start. And the interesting part is, compared to last season, there's wide diversity between the car manufacturers on the grid this time. So it's not just a grid of BMWs. It's a mix between different manufacturers. So that is very good to see. For example, we have Kanak, who is making a very different choice by taking Corvette to drive, which I would say, if not the most difficult, but definitely a challenging car to master in this game.
Oh yeah, a lot of drivers have picked different manufacturers this time around. We did see that there were quite a few Porsches who were fighting each other last time as well. And yeah, we have, I think, the championship leader, of course, Atul is in the Lexus, and a couple of other guys in either the McLaren or the Mercedes, and I think a couple of Ferraris here and there as well. So a good mix of cars overall. And yeah, 20 seconds left of this practice, and you can see the Porsche just putting in some laps, trying to get in the groove, and yeah, go for quali. Try and get that Porsche as high up as possible.
Yeah, that's just the best thing to do. You get that lap in just before the practice, and so that you are completely warmed up. You're breaking references, you are aware what you have to do, you are in the groove before you go for that quali lap. As we can see, Moto or Hardik Pari braking for turn 1, cutting completely on the inside now for turn 2, going wide for turn 3, and that was a very, very decent line, I would say.
Well, let's just hope he takes the similar lines going into quali as well, and yeah, not mess up the quali runs, because we've seen, at least in the past season, we've seen that quite a few impeding as well as spins were going on in the quali part, especially in Bahrain. So let's see if they can keep it clean and keep it on track.
Yep, and I would honestly say the most challenging part of the track today for our drivers would be this sweeping left, right, left section of turns 5, 6, and 7. Because a slight, I would say, like a bit too much speed or a bit too much wheel rotation, and oh, okay, that is interesting. But yep, it seems like he has gone into the pits, or we have our practice over. Now it's time for quali. And as the quali started, already seeing drivers coming out, just waiting for that moment.
Yeah, all of them just very eager to get out and get a clean part of the track. We have, I think, last time we had 30 drivers in participating, and I think it's 31 or something this time around as well. So a very, very stacked grid, and these guys will have to definitely fight it out to get some free air in front of them. And we can see the Porsche of Moto in front, and the others just right behind him, trying to even cut the corner here just to get position on track.
Can this be reported maybe? Can we make it more interesting in the championship by reporting this incident? Is it allowed? Do we have to report it this to us?
I'm not so sure that is something that is allowed. So yeah, that is something these guys are gonna have to look out for.
Yeah, we have caught it in 4K. So this is something that surely can be reported. Yep, reports coming for us towards to look at.
Well, not just the drivers, but even the comms and stream over here. We are catching these guys red-handed, and yeah, let's see. It's going to definitely make things interesting for the points. And there's a battle going on right now on track for even just in quali. I think that's Arada Gupta who making an overtake on the McLaren. And yeah, the mind games have started already.
Yep, this is interesting. I wasn't aware Aradhya Gupta is driving a Corvette. That is good to see. And right now we are looking at Hardik Pari starting his qualifying lap. This might not be the most representative lap for him, because these cars or these tires need a lap at least to warm up and get to that optimum window to work perfectly. So yeah, but right now we are seeing Hardik Pari approaching turn 1, braking somewhere at 120 meters. Shifting down to first gear, hitting the apex, sticking the car somewhere in the middle, going wide for turn 3. Seems like a good line, and let's see what sector time he gets before he ends sector 1. And the sector time would be somewhere. Is it not the end of the sector 1? Where does the sector 1 ends? I cannot see anything on the delta. This is weird. But yeah. Again, looking at Moto going through this section, sweeping left, right, left section, getting a decent exit out of it. Seems like he lifted off ever so slightly. But while approaching turn 10, we'll be getting a good slipstream from the car in front. Let's see how much top speed he's getting here. It's somewhere around 244 kilometers per hour, braking somewhere around 100. Taking the apex for turn 10 perfectly. Approaching turn 11 now. Will be just charging towards the start-finish line. Let's see what lap time he'll be setting for the initial benchmark. And was it an invalidated lap time? I'm not so sure. It's Aradhya.
Yeah, I think it was invalidated lap time.
Yep, and right now it's Aradhya who has started with a lap time of 1:15, which is a decent lap time, I would say. What are your thoughts?
Well, only time will tell if he'll be able to keep that or not. I'm pretty sure these guys have more in their tank, because I think last year also they went towards 114s, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, at least a good benchmark from Aradhya right there, and Moto also I think messing up because the sector times were also not shown. Whereas on screen right now is Atul Bhaskar, the championship leader as of now. He won the first race in Sebring, and he was purple in sector 2 just a couple of seconds ago, and that's been taken from someone behind him. So definitely someone faster than the man on camera right now, which is Atul. And let's see, coming up to the final, there we go, the finish line, and he takes pole. As of now, at least, it's a 1:15.5 from Atul Bhaskar for the first, flying lap. And we can see Aradhya Gupta already in with a 113.9, and so does Kanak go, and he's actually faster. He's gone 113.955. So fastest lap after fastest lap, just coming in as of now.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how quickly the tires just warmed up in just one lap. They are almost 1.5 seconds faster. It's just incredible to see that, because the more temperature these tires will get once they're in the perfect window, I would say like their maybe third lap or fourth lap would be their perfect lap to get with the the optimum tires for this qualifying.
Well, I don't know if it's the tires or the track ramping up, but yeah, the times are definitely just going down more and more. So yeah, right now it is both the Corvettes in front. We have Kanak and Aradhya in P1 and 2, and we have Motwani in P3. So yeah, we did see Rahul doing pretty decent in the first race as well. He did say that the tire wear and stuff, there were a few things which he was looking at earlier and wants to obviously improve on. So let's see what he does this time around. And while we are talking about that, Hardik Pari has gone fastest overall by almost a tenth of a second, and he sets a 113.8 in that Porsche.
Yep, Hardik Pari setting the current provisional pole lap time, which is 113.8. I'm not sure if these drivers will end up breaking the 12 barrier there, because they are fast with each lap. It might be difficult, but a low 13s is definitely on the cards for our pole time today.
Oh yeah, definitely. And right now, the gaps are very, very close. I think the top, I would say, top 5 are just split by 0.2 of a second. So very close margins for these guys, and it's going to be interesting to see what these guys, can do, let's say, later on in the session as well. And we can see that Hardik Pari has already gone 0.3 faster than his best lap time in the first sector, coming up to the final corner, or not even final corner, this is the final straight, and he does improve a 113.2. So every lap they are just going faster and faster. Atul Bhaskar took the lead for just a second, and then Hardik comes back with a much better lap.
Yeah, reaching that 12 mark will not be that difficult for these drivers at this point, I would say. But right now it's Kanak who is starting his another flying lap. Might be getting slightly impeded by that McLaren in front. It might have moved out of his way. Ajish Gilbert setting a lap time of 13.240. So yep, he didn't have the best of his races in the last race at Sebring, but today he is making sure that there's no I would say misfortune for him on the track. Yeah, just trying his best, which is quite visible on the track.
Oh yeah, that's a very, very solid lap by him. Just 0.03 of a second faster than Moto right there. And wow, that definitely we did not expect him to be up here, but yeah, we've seen that he's pretty quick, and he's shown that right now. But of course, all the other drivers behind him are also on a lap now, so let's see if they go faster. And there we go. While I'm saying that, Hardik goes faster yet again by a tenth, and that is a 113.1 on the board, which is a tenth faster than Ajish Gilbert.
Yeah, these lap times are just going faster and faster. It's almost difficult to track, because as you're discussing about a previous lap time or a driver, another driver just ends up going faster. So, it's just difficult. Not sure if it's the track ramping up as we discussed, or it's the tires that are coming into the window, or it's just, the driver, we never know. But yeah, it's just working out for these guys.
And it looks like this track, I know everyone is just liking this track because the gap between the top 10 right now is under a second. So pretty close between these guys. Last time we did see a pretty huge gap, at least in Sebring, whereas this time around it's much closer. Not just the top 5, but the top 10. So it's pretty much anyone's game right now. Anyone could take pole. I think even Kanak is in peak 12 now, who was in the top 4 last time around. But because the track is quite short, and these guys are doing sub 1 minute 15s, there's a lot of traffic that they have to negate as well. And 30 cars on track, that's never a good sign for these guys.
That is definitely true. Traffic in qualifying is, I would say, definitely the biggest enemy of the drivers. As we see Kanak Satam, who has already breezed that 12 mark with a lap time of 1:12.802. That is a decent lap time, and I believe that would end his run on his first tire set. And since it's almost 10-minute mark, he would be hoping to jump on that another set that he has for quali and maybe work on that to improve on that 12.802 lap time. What do you say on that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think that's the fastest time at all, because we still have 10 minutes left in the session, and yeah, there's a lot of time for these guys to just get better and better and stop making any mistakes, because we did see Kanak in 12th, and out of nowhere, he's back up to P1. So we know he's one of the big guys out there. He did have a pretty decent start as well last time around, and yeah, I think he came back again, and got a decent, I would say, result out of it. So yeah, a pretty good spot as of now, just in pole, but that's definitely not it. These guys have much more left in the tank, and you just have to wait 9 more minutes to see who comes out on top.
Yep, and I believe Jay Patil has just gone P2 if I'm not wrong, or was he there before? But yeah, decent lap time from him as well. He's up there with those fast people, so definitely strong showing from him till now.
Oh yeah, that's a great lap. I think we missed it out, while talking about everyone else. But yeah, a very good lap by Jaikumar Patil right there to get into P2, just 2 tenths off of Kanak as of now. And yeah, that's a very good lap by Kanak, a 12.8, which is, yeah, pretty decent. And we just saw G. Samuel also putting in his Porsche up to P7.
Yep, he put that Porsche up to P7 with a lap time of 13.588. So that's a decent, maybe not the best, but definitely a decent lap time to put. He still got 8 minutes to improve on that. So yeah, let's see where he improves within these 8 minutes. As we see Jay Patil, who is already on his out lap. I believe he will be on his another set of tires, because that would be his best bet to now get his runs done on this newer set, and maybe when it's just a minute left, he starts his lap and gets the best lap time possible, because I would say track and tires would be in the best window during that part of the quali.
Yeah, most definitely. But as of now, no one else other than Kanak has gone under a 112. So everyone just above the 112 mark. They're on that 113.005 is Jaikumar's lap time right now. But yeah, we just have to see what these guys can come up with, because again, all these guys are on their out laps. We can see Moto catching up to the guy in front, and yeah, that will not be helpful at all for him, because I think the person in front might be slightly slower compared to Moto.
Yep, and the interesting part is, apart from 4-5 cars, almost every car is on track right now. So on this track, which is I believe almost 3.5 km long, there's quite a lot of traffic for these guys, and they have to find the best window for their lap time. But now in this situation, it's not the ideal for Moto, I would say. He will have to back out of this lap, or create that gap from the guy in front, because yep, he won't be able to get the best lap time. As we can already see, he is slightly faster compared to the car in front, and definitely will be getting impeded as he approaches that car more closer and closer. So yeah, it's not the best for him. And we see Kumar in P5. So another strong driver, I would say. Very strong showing.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent lap by him as well, promoting up himself up to P5. But yeah, both the Porsches very, very close to each other, and Moto here hasn't really lost much of time. He just lost around 700ths of a second while following the Porsche in front. So can he get a good slipstream here and maybe go for a better lap this time around? Because the last sector, of course, he's lost almost 2 tenths. But other than that, it's been pretty okay, even while following the car in front.
I mean, if it was okay earlier, it won't be okay this lap because it's way too close for the comfort for his qualifying lap. So yeah, let's see what he does if he decides to continue like that, or back out a bit and get those final 2-3 runs in that correct window. But yeah, as we see Kanak, who is on his push lap, as we can see, going through turn 4, and will be approaching the sweeping left of this turn 5 and 6 and 7 again. Very demanding corners can definitely spin your car if you are slightly too fast or slightly too a bit more wheel inputs. So yeah, you have to be precise to get the best exit, but he's not improving from what we could see. Kanak, he's still yellow sector 1, so let's see what lap time he can get as he ends his lap. As we see Moto or Hardik Pari, who has managed to overtake the guy he was following, but yeah, still not getting any improvement on his previous lap. He will have to go again.
Yeah, looking at his sector times, we can see that it's just the third sector that he's messing up a little bit and losing time. So if he just gets that sector right, he might be close to Kanak, who has set a very good lap, because even now these guys are trying their best, but it doesn't look like anyone's been improving as of now, because it is Kanak up front with Patil right behind him, and then it is Hardik Pari and then Ajish Gilbert, the top 4 as of now. So yeah, P6 is Atul Bhaskar, so let's see if he can put in a better lap, or has the track changed and can they not go faster anymore, and we'll just have to wait for 4 minutes to find out.
Yep, it's just 4 minutes remaining in quali, and I feel like it's Kanak has put in a really decent lap time. I don't want to jinx, but it might be enough for pole. You never know. It feels like it might be just enough for pole today.
Well, he would be elated with that pole if he does get it. But yeah, it's just 2/10 of a second, and it's not that hard to find that kind of a time. But again, it clearly is very hard for these guys, because even Kanak is not able to go faster. He has a purple sector 3 in the last run. So let's see if he can pull off some magic in this particular this time, while he just revolves around the circuit once again.
Maybe a Max Verstappen like lap in the end, like he did in Monaco. It just comes out of nowhere, like the car just hooks and the lap time just comes in just like magic.
Yeah, talking about magic, the only thing that comes to my mind is Lewis Hamilton. So in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis has put in some amazing lap times as well. So either of it would work for him as long as he gets pole, right?
Well, unless he pulls off the brake magic from Azerbaijan, which is Lewis Hamilton going wide. But yeah, we'll see. We still have time for the race, and yeah, right now Kanak is going faster compared to before. His sector times are looking very good. The first 2 sectors are purple, at least on this timing sheet. But yeah, it looks as if he's just 4 tenths down when we look at the telemetry here.
Yep, it seems like he's still down. He's not improving. Yep, he's managing to get that final sector just right, but not getting those initial 2 sectors the way he wants. Not sure if he's just preparing his tires or what's the case, but he I believe he only got 2 more runs to improve on that. So yeah, let's see. For now, it seems like it's enough, as we see Jay Patil, who is on out lap right now, so he will be trying to improve Hardik Pari is in pit, so not sure if he will be continuing on his quali or not, because not a lot of time left in the quali. But seems like yep, he is out. He will keep that lap time of 13:1. So we have to see now who can manage to beat these lap times.
Yeah, even Atul just crossed the. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, Ajish Gilbert just, I think, overcooking the rears right there. Just had a spin. But it's fine. It's just quality. He still has a chance to recover and maybe go for another lap. But yeah, I was just talking about Atul Bhaskar, who's promoted himself up to P4. It was a 113.1 for him. Pretty close margins up in front. It's, I think, 5-10 separating the top 5. And then, yeah, it's like almost till P16, P17. It's just a 1 second gap between those guys. So compared to last time, this race has been very close for these guys. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens in the race. Who's better at side by side racing, and it doesn't look like anyone's improving as of now. So it should be a comfortable P1 for Kanak, unless. Oh, there we go. Unless Jacob Patel could have gone faster, but he does a 113.056. So doesn't improve from, I think, his. Oh, I think he improved by 0.002 of a second. But yeah, that's not going to be enough to take pole off of Kanak.
Yep, he is still in P2. Not sure if he has enough energy left. It's just 3.1%. Not sure how much is the consumption for one lap. Let's see if we can get in another lap and maybe improve. That's gonna be tricky. But right now it seems Kanak has already decided he is in garage. No more improvement. A 12.8 lap time for him. Let's see if we can see, as we see Jay Patil, who was faster in sector 1 but not getting the best exits through turn 7. Is the quali, I would say turn 8, I'm sorry. Is the quali over for him? It seems like it. Yeah, it's not the best runs, I would say, for him. The final one.
Well, he's back in the pits now, so that's definitely quality down for him. We're just waiting for the rest of the drivers to finish it up. But yeah, it does look like P1 to 3 is solidified right now, because no one's, at least in the timing sheets, no one's going faster as of now. So it is Kanak Satam in P1, Jaikumar Patil in P2. Very good lap by him as well. And it is Hardik Pari in P3. Can, Raj Modi here get somewhere up, at least in the top 10, if not the front spots? He's coming up to the line right now, and it is a 113.5, and he goes, promotes himself up to P7. So a decent lap by him right there.
Yep, managing to get into P10 in such a close grid is definitely a good thing, because slipstream here is definitely gonna be a very helpful factor, and he can stick close with that front pack and maybe pounce as there any incidents in front. So he'll just waiting for his opportunity there.
Yeah, now it's all time to get prepared for the race. But yeah, let's just quickly go through the grid as well. We have Kanak Satam in P1, Jaikumar Patil in P2, Hardik Pari in P3. We have Atul Bhaskar in P4, and Ajish Gilbert finishing up the top 5. We have Kumar, Modi, Samuel, Joji, and Aradhya Gupta in P10, finishing up the top 10. And yeah, we have the rest of the pack, which is Talari, Said, Motwani, Wan Mali, J. Robin, Eskirin, M. Faizan, SSK. That's a nice name. We have Sulfi and Afzan finishing up the top 20. And we can see the gaps are very close. It's just 1.2 seconds till,
Teams and drivers
person
go
in
to
20.
the grid for a race
And yeah, then we have the rest of the grid, which is Hussein, Rao, R. Singh, Garbo, Shakunt, Thomas, Pahuja, Bandari, Mukit, and Kumar Sami, who 3 of them haven't really put any time in. So maybe, just trying to do a challenge of last to first or last to wherever they can get. And yeah, race was pretty chaotic last time. We did see a couple of incidents as well. So yeah, going to be interesting to see how it goes this time around.
Yeah, and we missed one driver, Arav Shakunt, who had very strong performances, but today he was not able to Not sure what actually happened, but was not able to get get the lap time that he wants. He was starting quite down the order for this race. So yeah, he will have to do some work to get somewhere close to top 10.
Yeah, he's I think starting P25, so a pretty tall order up front to maybe even get into the top 10. But we have seen that he has the pace. Let's see if he can consistently put in some laps and yeah, get that McLaren up into points being position.
Yeah, and right now we are just waiting for the race to start. Drivers are just making sure they have the correct fuel, they are on the correct tires. I mean, we do believe that there's no one who will be starting on wets right now, but yeah, just making sure they chose the correct newer set of slick tires that they want for this race. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting because on this track a lot of overtaking opportunities, and if you mess up turn 10, it won't be easy it won't be difficult for the driver behind to make an overtake as the drivers approach turn 1.
Indeed, it's a very short circuit, and it's going to be fun to see how it goes. We have 3 drivers just in the pits as of
Formation
now.
lap has started.
And yeah, the formation lap has started. So, of course, it's going to be a rolling start. So, yeah, going to be interesting to see what happens into turn 1.
Yeah, and interesting part, this is a very short formation lap. They have to manage a double file. They won't get that time of completing one lap to warm up. It will just this one corner that they have where they have to prepare themselves for the race and make sure they are just at it, and they are not feeling nervous. I would say the biggest factor as a race driver here would be the nervousness at the race start, because that sometimes also messes up how you brake, which is very important in racing. So yeah, that is very important for these drivers to manage.
Indeed, of course, we can only go fast if you can brake and slow down the car for turns. But yeah, slowly getting close to the start finish straight, and it is green flag and the ride's out and you're underway. And it looks like a very good start for Jaikumar Patil right there, and a very good start for Moto as well. Both of them were side by side, but Kanak has a much better line going into turn 1, has kept the lead, and there's a Corvette just sliding out and taking out the BMW there, and I think he had a hit with the Porsche of that is Hardik Pari there. But whoa, the carnage has started already, and the Corvette is just playing bumper cars right now.
Oh my god, there's so much happening. Seems like a Lexus ended up hitting, as we see a BMW almost spinning at the Grosjean turn where he crashed, and that BMW has, I believe, he'll having a good damage. And Akbar Kumar already having a DT at the race start. He might have jumped the start. There's a lot of stuff happening already on track as we see the McLaren of what is this? So much happening. It's so difficult to track right now. The drivers are just trying to gain as many positions as they can. You see a BMW just cutting the corner and coming out in front of that Porsche. As you see, the Porsche has clipped the BMW and the BMW has won.
Yeah, we saw a lot of carnage last time around as well. Yes, it is.
The worst start for him from P2 to almost. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was I think P20 now for Patil. That's just gone from bad to worse. The first turn itself, he had contact with the drifting Corvette. I don't know whose, but yeah, he's just been going down from there. And yeah, a lot of racing already, a lot of contact as well, similar to the last season that we saw. This track being very notorious with all the contacts, different cars, different braking points, and yeah, it just catches people off guard. And yeah, talking about catching people off guard, we have, I think that is Akbar Kumar, who has a DT. Maybe just couldn't get the start right. But yeah, we have the McLaren here trying to make a move on the Porsche. But yeah, Shakunt just keeping it calm, just keeping it on track, and is up to 18th. I think he started from P25, so that's a pretty good race start by him. And talking about good race starts, we have Kanak Satam in P1, Hardik Pari who's in P2, was just I think slightly tapped by the Corvette there. And yeah, that's I think Atul Bhaskar in P3 overall, because after the drive through, of course, the Porsche of Akbar Kumar will go back.
Yep, that is true. And right now it's Koushik who leads. As you see a Porsche hitting. Not sure who it was.
That's a drive.
But it's Akbar Kumar who is serving his drive already. So yeah, he's into the pits. And right now it's Koushik who leads, followed by Hardik Pari, who is in turn followed by Atul Bhaskar with Joji in P4. So yep, some guys getting using this opportunity to move up the grid places. Atul Bhaskar, I would say, one of the biggest gainers in this top 5. So yeah, and Faisal, I believe he started much further down. He's already in P6. So that is, I would say Faisal has gained quite a lot of positions at the start already.
Yeah, that's a great start by him. He is in P6 right now, and I think pretty comfortable as well. There's almost 2-second gap between him and the Corvette behind him. And yeah, on screen right now is Aradhya Gupta, who's under pressure from James Robin and Raj Modi right behind. So Raj Modi, we saw last time as well that he was just waiting for the guys in front to start fighting, and as soon as it started off and one of them, had a moment, he was just right there to take the position. And right now we see a dive down the inside by the BMW, and what a move that is. They are still going side by side coming out of the penultimate corner, and it's going to be a side by side all the way through the start finish straight and till the first turn as well. But the BMW will have the advantage here because that will be the inside for the turn 1, which is a right-hander, and it sure is. He's still on the inside, but can the Corvette brake later? Still going side by side into turn 1 and now into turn 2 on the left-hand side, and I think it's going to be a compromised line for the Corvette behind. And yeah, there we go. Raj Modi right on the back of the Corvette. Now he goes side by side with him. Can he brake later? He can, and sends one down the inside, gets the space, and wow, that's some beautiful racing by all three of them right now.
Yep, that was pretty clean and fair racing from these guys. Raj Modi almost getting an opportunity to overtake Aradhya Gupta in that battle between and James Robin, but it's Aradhya who still managed to come out in front. Yep, James Robin will now have to defend from Gupta, who is very, very close, approaching turn 10. Will he make a move here or will he wait for turn 1? We'll find it out, and he sends it down the inside. But it's gonna compromise his line as we see a cutback from James Robin getting a much better exit, and now it's race down to turn 1. BMW should be using that superior straight line speed compared to Corvette. And as we see, Corvette is not having any chance right now. Who will brake later? Aradhya tries to brake later, but it's James Robin who is much later. Aradhya tries to make a move on the outside. Not a very easy move to make, but yeah, it's James Robin who's still in front.
And yeah, his line has compromised his exit as well, and the Ferrari is right behind him yet again. But we did see that Aradhya has been braking quite late compared to the guys around him, and yeah, that's kind of given him a slight advantage or maybe a breather, because the Ferrari of Raj Modi hasn't been able to overtake him, at least as of now, and he's already got up to the back of James Robin, who is just in front of him, and yeah, just 7 tenths between them. So really good racing by them, and yeah, I think now slowly but surely James is pulling out a gap, while we divert our attention on the Porsche right behind the Ferrari of Raj Modi, who has caught up, and it's like, you know what, I also want to get a position here. Let me get a piece of this battle.
Yep, it seems like Selfie is saying, Raj Modi, if you won't overtake Aradhya, I'll overtake you. So it's my opportunity now. But yeah, he does lap time of 1:48 as his best lap time. I believe his last lap was invalidated, so we cannot see that. But up front, it's Koushik, who has already managed to create a gap of almost 5 seconds to Atul, and it seems like there's a battle happening up front between Atul and Hardik Pari, as we see Samuel has lost his rear right tire. That seems like a big, there must have been a big contact, because the damage is not small.
He didn't have the best of starts. We did see him, have a little bit of damage here and there in the starting itself, and yeah, losing a tire definitely not helping his case at all. But yeah, while we're talking about that, even Hardik Pari has lost quite a bit of time. He was almost 4 seconds behind Kanak, and now he has been overtaken by Atul Bhaskar and is under pressure from Joji, who is right behind. So Nikhil doing a very decent job of keeping the Porsche just behind, the podium positions as of now. But yeah, we have, I think that is Bhargav Talari, who's right behind him as well. So it's going to be an interesting fight for P3.
Yep, it's definitely gonna be interesting as we see Porsche of S. Kalpi still putting the pressure on S. Kiran. It seems like he has already been overtaken by S. Kiran. He's just putting that pressure on Raj Modi, but has managed to lose the position to him. And yep, still under pressure from the BMW of Hussain. So I'm not sure if he's not finding that grip or what is happening. But yeah, he is losing that time to the car in front, it seems.
Yeah, it does look like he's trying to go for a move on the car in front, but at the same time, he's just taking unconventional lines and losing more time to the cars behind. So after, I think, getting overtaken by Shiv, who's trying to make a move on the Ferrari in front, I think both of them were side by side for a second over there. And yeah, he has made the move on, that's not even the Ferrari, it was the BMW of Yashwant Rao. So a good move by him, promoting himself up to P11. And can the BMW of Hussain make a move on Sulfi here? We have seen the BMW have very decent straight line speed, tried to go for the inside, but there's a car coming out of the pits as well. And that was a Lexus there, I think. And yeah, as of now, he just has to settle behind the Porsche and wait his turn to try and make a move. And I think that Sulfi also has to try and make a move on Yashwant Rao in front of him, because he has a way better exit compared to the BMW in front. Can he brake later, go down the inside? Not much space there. He has to, yet again, just hold his horses, wait a bit, and maybe make a move in the second part of the track, and that's a slide from the Corvette.
Yeah, and this contact between Vanmali and Aradhya Gupta, if I'm not wrong, or not sure who it was, if Aradhya was just passing them. But yeah, we saw that car of Vanmali, the Corvette, almost sideways through the particular section of turns, I would say 5-6. Yeah, so not sure what actually happened, but luckily these guys are able to continue, and I hope they do not have much damage. As you see, the battle still happening between Salvi and who was that car behind him?
Hussain.
It's Hussain. Yep, it's Hussain who is being pressured by Afzan. So there's a battle of 3 horses here. 2 Porsches, 1 BMW. Who's gonna come out on top between these 3? We'll find out as these guys approach turn 1. Who's gonna brake later? Who's the bravest? It's Hussain who braves later. As we see the BMW of
Patel, who was made a sneak attack through there, and he's making the way through here.
Yep, he was very opportunistic there. He's tried to make a move, but
I think Patel is a lap down.
He is lap, but he's still putting that fight. The other driver's not gonna like that. Not sure what's happening, but yep, it seems like he's faster, as we saw in quali. He just wants to get out of the traffic, like he said. He just wants to get out. He's definitely lapped, but don't want to be in that pack as he's not faster.
Yeah, I think he just got unlucky with, all the contact and everything. So he's just trying to make a recovery drive now. He has already pit, so maybe he won't have to pit yet again. We'll have to see, how that goes. But yeah, he definitely has the pace right now, because going down the inside is Sulfi, and both of them still fighting with each other. And this is just giving the BMW behind a chance to unlap himself. And yeah, he's still on the left-hand side of the Porsche. So under pressure is Sulfi, but yeah, it's definitely a lap down. But if he's faster, he can go for a move. Try to go for a move down the inside, brakes later, and that's gonna be a lovely move by Patel right there on the BMW of Hussain. So you can see the speed difference that these guys have, and what a move that was.
For that move, I would have to agree with Deepak's reaction as it was mine. The way he just cut off the Porsche of Selfie. It was good, but at the same time, it could have ended much worse if there was slight clip between the cars. So yeah, that was good but scary at the same time.
Well, yeah, blue flags, of course. It will be under play. But again, we are just here to enjoy the racing, and we leave all all these kind of things up to the stewards because they also need to need something on their plate.
Yeah, that is
Have a
true.
look at the replay. I think find what happened to Keaton Samuel.
Yep, that should be interesting to look what actually happened. And as you see, he's just and he almost gets hit by the Lexus. Was it Lexus of Motwani?
I don't know whose
Because
Lexus
I
that
saw
was,
him.
but that Lexus was out of control.
Yep, I mean this. I believe there was one Lexus at turn 1 of the race start, and this. I'm not sure if it's the same Lexus which ended up losing control again and causing that damage to Geethan Samuel.
And to
So,
make things
yeah.
matters worse for Geethan Samuel, he also had to serve a stop go for most likely speeding into pit lane. So his race is definitely going really, really bad.
That's not the best of the days for him on the track today. But yeah, that there's something for the stewards now. A lot to look at on what actually happened.
Let's have a look
there's
at the lap 1 as well. Let's see what happened there.
Yep, we have to see which Lexus was it that actually caused the chaos. I believe it's already. And it seems like Lexus is not having the best of the days. It's either killing or getting killed on track. If not the best word, I would say. But yeah, not the best days for a Lexus car today.
Yeah.
Yep, I believe this will give us a good glimpse of what actually happened. Yep, seems like it was the Lexus behind and loses control again, hits the Corvette, causes the chain reaction, and that just starts the chaos. Yep, this is bumper cars now.
That is just extremely unfortunate, and she really don't want to see incidents like that, but it's just one we have to look at later. But for now, coming back onto the track, Anand is just chilling, he's just pulling ahead, and Atul is trying his level best to catch up. He's now 5.6 seconds behind, and he is broken clear of all the other chasing pack. I think Hardik Pari and Nikhil Jodi were giving him a good chase, but he has broke clear of them as well. Yeah, he's running on his own.
Yeah, Kanak is just getting a Monday drive. I would say, I'm not sure if it's actually the case, but yeah, making Monday drive like a Sunday chill drive. I would say, I have this the best way to put it like this only.
Well, we could say Monday is Mondaying in the right way for him. He's got P1 right now. And yeah, he's just chilling, like the way his rival, I would say, Atul Bhaskar was doing last time around. So yeah, he just kept his nose clean. Was of course starting first. He's definitely gonna help because we saw P2 getting sideswipe unfortunately, and right now both the BMWs getting very close to each other, going side by side now, and that's a very decent move from I think that is James Robin, who's in P6 as of now, who got overtaken by Bhargav Talari.
Yep, it's James Robin who made a move on Faizan and is sitting in P6 while battling him. But yeah, Talari, is it Talari? I'm not sure.
No, it is Faizan, and yes, you're right.
Okay, so yeah, I believe Talari is almost 4 seconds in front of him, and it's a lapped Porsche that is actually there. But right now we are seeing Jay Thomas, who is chasing A. Afzan. So yeah, there's another battle happening at the back, and I believe he's not close enough to make a move at turn 10. Let's see if we can get any closer as these guys approach turn 1. Gets a decent exit, almost cutting the curve. Both of these cars not able to gain as much time as Thomas would have wanted, so seems like he'll have to settle P16 only until he's anywhere closer to make a move.
Yeah, it's going to be a waiting game, and of course we even have the pit stop phase and a lot of different strategies coming up there as well. Few people just don't change their tires, but of course this track is pretty heavy on the tire wear, so they have to make sure to try and save as much of tire wear as they can if they're trying to go for a no tire change strategy. So yeah, a lot of things to still look at. We still have 27 minutes left in this race, So yeah, and Kanak is still going faster. That's a 113.077 by him, which is almost, I think, 5/10 faster than Atul, and pretty much over a second faster than Moto behind. And that's, I think that's the Corvette of Vanmali going wide there. And Rajmati was like, you know what? Thank you very much. I'll take that position off of you.
Yep, and also it seems like, I'm not sure if it's because of the difference between the times, but Hardik Pari is trying to save, maybe trying to extend one extra lap, as he got 31% virtual energy compared to 25.5% of Kanak Satam. Atul is somewhere sitting around 27.8, so yeah, not sure if the difference between these guys on the track will come into play, but yep, seems like Hardik is trying to save some fuel and maybe go for that extra 1 or 2 lap.
Yeah, that's a decent strategy. We've seen him make a move in the pits in the last season as well. So let's see if that can happen this time around. We have a lovely graphic on screen as of now. A 5.6 second gap between P1 and P2. Both of them pretty similar. I would say the energy is like 22% versus 25%. So not too bad right there. We have 5 people who have, let's say, DNF from the race, and unfortunately that's time for me as well to go. So I'll leave it up to you and Deepak to take over the comms, and yeah, I'll see you guys, I think, in the next one, guys. So bye bye.
Yep, thank you, Swagger. Take care. Will manage it from here. Thank you.
Cool. Bye.
So yeah, as we can see right now, Hardik Pari, who is almost 1.5 seconds in front of N Joji. So yep, it's again the battle of who's gonna freeze him, or maybe go that extra 1 or 2 lap and reduce that time to refill the virtual energy and gain some time on the driver in front. Yep, at the back, a gaggle of cars just changing places. We are following S. Kiran, who is trying to put pressure on Y. Rao, if I'm not wrong. And we see a car just cutting turn 7, if I was not wrong completely. Yep, it was a BMW of I believe it was
Yashwant Rao.
Yashwant Rao, yeah. It's almost difficult to track these cars, but again, so much happening as Hussain makes a move on Yashwant Rao before turn 10. Not sure if it's gonna be helpful, because Yashwant Rao will be getting a very good slipstream as these guys will be approaching turn 1, and he can make a break later and make a move. He's already very close. Let's see if he's bold enough to make that move. Will he go for it? He doesn't. He decides to stay back and take it safer, as we see Vanmali almost trying to use that opportunity to make a move, but yep, he still stays back.
Up ahead, Aradhya Gupta is on the tail of Faizan, and he's trying to clear Faizan as quick as he can. He's catching up to him in some of the fast sections. It is very difficult to back out of it. It looked like his car was a bit uneasy too there, but well, yes, he catches it and he goes on the chase. And these guys are nearing the end of their energy reserves, which means that they're going to be making their pit stops anytime soon. So that pit stop phase could be very crucial, because as you know, there are a lot of factors. You have tire warm-up phase, so when the tires take quite a while to warm up, so will the drivers make a tire change or not is another factor. And also you have the fact that there is no boosting in the pit lane at all, so it's entirely up to the drivers to make sure that they get released safe and clean, else that could mean more contacts and more slowing down. So that is a very chaotic phase, and we are very close to that phase right now.
Yep, I would honestly say Kanak might try to change one side tires of his car, because he got that good delta between the car behind and himself, so he can definitely try that. At the same time, Atul might try to not change any of his tires, considering that is his only opportunity right now to reduce that gap to Kanak. So it's gonna be interesting to see what strategies these guys gonna play. Are they gonna try to make any bold move to get that P1 spot, or will it just be a straightforward strategy to make sure they at least do not lose their current position, as we see in Joji diving into the pits with just 7% virtual energy remaining. So it's gonna be interesting. Multiple cars jumping into the pits, as Deepak just mentioned. They are going out of their energy reserve. So the pit lane is going to be busy starting this lap.
Yep, you already saw 4 cars going into their pit lane, and some people having managed the energies a little better. They're able to do one more lap. Like Moto has 12.2 at this point, so he can definitely extend a few more laps. And he'll hopefully think that these guys will be struggling in traffic and I can just extend that gap. That would most likely be his plan.
Yep, that should be his plan, because right now he is quite a lot behind the cars in front. He wants to find some way to reduce that gap. He is fast, but not getting the best of his days, I would say. So yeah, let's see what strategy he plays. His last lap time was 14.4. Meanwhile, the top two are doing 13.6 and 13.1. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting as we see KoushikSam diving into the pits. Is it Hardik Pari has already decided to pitch? That's interesting, because he had much higher reserve compared to the other 2 cars. So not sure what exactly was happening there, Deepak, but yeah.
Not sure, maybe he felt that the tires had given up at that point, but Atul goes on for one more lap, and he will definitely be hoping and praying that Kaushik and Hardik get into some kind of pit lane kerfuffle or some issues with traffic and get stuck behind, because remember he had a gap of 5.6 to Kaushik. When the pit window is over, that will be interesting to see where he ends up.
Yep. And pit strategy in this game can definitely make things very interesting, as we have seen from season 1. Personal experiences I got, so yeah.
Speaking of jumping in strategy, I think Hardik Pari... Oh, never mind, he's still stuck there. I thought for a moment Hardik had jumped Kaushik, but that's not the case. Kaushik has come out in P4, but crucially he is in P4 right now, and he is coming into traffic. All the VJ Carbo car being hasn't pitted yet, so that's fine. So all the cars in front are yet to pit. So I would say, in fact, he has found himself a perfect pit window. He's not moving enough traffic, so it must be smooth sailing for him.
Yep, and Carbo behind him will be hopefully pitting next lap, considering the energy reserve he got is almost out of energy, almost 4%. So yep, he doesn't have a lot of pressure from behind as of now. He just needs to make sure he comes out in front of Atul, as we see Atul in the pit box refilling his virtual energy. Let's see who actually comes out in front. It seems like it will be KoushikSam, considering the gap he got, but we are not sure if Kaushik has changed his tires or what strategy Atul is gonna play. It's definitely gonna be interesting as these cars jump out of the pits. As see Yashwantrao just coming out of the pits, there was a Porsche almost cutting turn 1. Not sure what actually happened there, but yeah, it's almost carnage. It seems like he was giving way.
I think he had contact, he was spun out. I think that's how it looked what happened there.
The pits in the background, it's Kaushik who has come out in front of Atul. So yep, it stays as it is. And let's see what happened to...
Apologies, I think this might be the wrong replay.
Yep, no problem. And yep, up front, if we talk about what's happening, it's Kaushik who still keeps the lead from Atul. But most importantly, the gap between these two is only 2 seconds. So that definitely has changed. The delta that was present before the pit stop has changed now, and Atul will try, if he has the tires, to fight Kaushik and see if he can get that P1 from him. These two are just going. It seems like the delta is so high that these two are doing lap times of early 13s or late 13s, meanwhile others are somewhere in 14s. So these two guys are just in a league of their own today.
That seems to be the case. The gap had definitely clawed back after the pit stop, but Kaushik had earlier built that gap, so it'll be interesting to see if he can build the gap again, or is Atul going to ramp up the pressure and close down the gap. But right now it looks like Kaushik is trying to break away. It was teetering all the age of 2 seconds, but it is slowly coming back to 1.7.
Yep, Atul is still trying to make sure that he doesn't lose that lap time to him. He's sticking with him, trying to put pressure and maybe force Kanak into a mistake. Not too close, but let's see. As we see, Aradhya Gupta has he had contact with Vanmali? Not sure. It's not Aradhya Gupta. It's Vanmali who has spun. Yep, he spun and almost just clipped with that front of Porsche. That Porsche almost got squeezed there.
Yeah, indeed, that Porsche was getting boxed in there and he had to slam on the brakes to get away from it. But importantly, Faizan has received a stop-go penalty and he is right now entering the pit to serve his stop-go penalty. So that's a free position for Aradhya Gupta who was caught on his face.
Yep, this gives that breathing room for Aradhya and James Robin, and these guys can just focus on their own race now. There's one driver less to fight. And right now, Afzan doing lap times. Okay, it seems like he pitted last lap, and his best lap is 13.9. Again, strong driver, but not getting the best of the results till now as he's sitting in P13. And right now, it's Afzan still putting that pressure on the car in front, almost 0.5 behind while approaching turn 8. As he'll be approaching turn 10, he'll be trying to make a move and see if he can get past by the end of turn 1. Still there, approaching turn 10, not close enough, but importantly under pressure from driver behind who is Thomas. So gets a good exit. He's still close. Can he make a move approaching turn 1? Let's see if the slipstream is gonna be helpful enough to help him reduce that gap to that BMW of Yashwant Rao. Will he be bold enough to just send one move down from the back? He tries to go around the outside, but not the best of the moves, I would say, because it's gonna be difficult to stick the car around the outside. As he goes to turn 3, tries to go around down the inside, but again, Afzan, Yashwant Rao just placing his car perfectly and not letting him go through. As we see J. Thomas almost trying to make a move, but yep, it's Afzan who still managed to keep that place. The battle is still going and Afzan getting a slightly better exit compared to Yashwant Rao. Will he get a move through this section of left, right, left? The exit seems to be not so well for Afzan. And Yashwant Rao gets a decent exit. Still managed to keep that gap to somewhere around 0.5. So yeah, the battle is still going, Deepak. It's not going to be easy for Yashwant Rao to defend from Afzan, seeing how aggressive and how close he is.
Yep, right now the Porsche seems to be having a very good control over the brakes. Turn 1, he tried to go wide, make a switchback line sort of, but Yashwant Rao was just placing his car in the right places. And critically in this battle, Justin Thomas had just received a drive-through penalty. Most probably he ran wide onto turn 4 exit and that would have racked up his drive-through. So he is out of this three-way fight and it's just Yashwant Rao and Afzan going at it.
Yep, and these two are just going at it. That one driver is out of this battle because of the penalty. But yep, these two are just going at it. And up front, it's Atul Bhaskar who has reduced that gap to 1.3 to Kanak. He is pushing and he is trying to make sure that he is close enough to make a move on Kanak. And their last lap times, Atul was almost 5/10 faster. He has definitely responded to Kanak's pace. I'm not sure if Kanak made a mistake because you can see Hardik Pari was also like almost a 10th quicker than him. So yep, it's possible he made a mistake, but yep, it's less than a second. Atul is pushing. Atul is definitely pushing.
Yep, he is indeed pushing a lot. I think this explains it. I think they're going through a traffic patch. I think that explains exactly what's going on. So traffic is playing into the hands of Atul here. Reduce the gap down to 1 second.
Yep, like you mentioned, traffic is definitely one of the key factors that is helping Atul reduce that gap to Kanak. Let's see how it's gonna end after this. These drivers managed to clear the traffic. It seems like it was a Corvette of Vanmali who moves out of the way for Atul, and Atul manages to get past him, and now he has to overtake the BMW of Singh, if I'm not wrong. So once he managed to make a move, again these two will be getting a slightly like some room for the for clean air, and the battle will be on again.
The gap's down to 0.8 seconds with all the traffic chaos. So Atul will be hoping for more traffic and more interruptions like that, because that had helped him claw back so much gap. And you can literally see that car right in front. It's 0.6 right now. He's tantalizingly close to the car up front. So this is going to be lighting up his eyes right now.
Yep, and I'm not sure how Atul managed to reduce that 5-second gap with the pit stop. Is it because he pitted one lap late, as you see the McLaren going wide? It seems like it's McLaren of Araf Shakun, not getting the best of the exits to turn 10. But yeah, I'm not sure if it was pitting one lap later or has he not changed his tires. It's unclear. We will definitely have to ask after this race.
Indeed, he played some strategic cards right, and then kind of goes deep. That means that Atul has the invite there to go for it. He gets a good exit through here. He's going to have a good run through the turn 4. Kind of goes defense on the inside. Atul is hugging right behind him, and he's going to go around the outside, but will kind of be able to hold in. More importantly, there is another blue flag traffic up front, and this is through a fast part of the circuit as well. That is going to be very, very hard into these guys' hands.
Yep, this traffic is definitely not helping Kanak the way he wants. It's just helping, his rival for today, who is Atul. And with this, he has reduced that 2-second gap to almost 0.5 seconds. And Kanak would be just hoping to, just requesting that this traffic just moves out of his way, or he just manages to clear this traffic quickly, because it's definitely not helping him. He has to focus in front as well as the cars behind. Definitely not easy for a driver to do when he's battling for the race win.
Yep, arguably yes, but at the end of the day, blue flag will basically state that the driver has to drive his line, not defend, and the faster drivers have to drive around them, and unfortunately the flag is not very conducive for that. We just saw what happened. Kanak sent him down the inside, went deep, and which means that Atul had a good run through here. And we see Kanak is making his way through another traffic car, I think that is DJ Cargo. Without much incident unlike last time around, and Atul is now trying to make his way through. I guess the traffic patch is going to be over. This might be the last traffic or it might be wrong as well, but either way, I think that window of opportunity has passed for Atul.
Yep, it seems like a clear air in front of Kanak from what I can see. Nope, we can see some cars slightly front, but the portion between Kanak and Atul is definitely not helping his case now, and it has moved luckily for him. So Pahuja moves aside, gives way to Atul, and Atul is now at it for the chase for race win. Gap is again increased to 1 second. Not sure if after this traffic has been cleared, if Atul got the tires left to again, put that pressure on Kanak. We'll definitely find it out. And somewhere behind, we have Njoji, who is putting the pressure on BMW of, is it
that is
Talari?
Talari, but more crucially, I think Nikhiljoji was on the tail of Hardik Bari. So I don't know when this overtake actually happened.
Yep, it seems like he has lost the time to Hardik. Not sure what actually happened. Did he make any mistake, or did he got into any incident? But yeah, right now he's putting that pressure and maybe trying to get that position back from Talari. So let's see how it's gonna play, because the gap is very less. He got 8 minutes, or I would say 9 minutes to make a move, and I would say this is good enough time if he can get his lines right, and turn 1 again would be the best chance if he just sticks close to him.
Let's have a look how this overtake panned out.
Yep, and right now again the battle up front, and as we see the replay of what has happened between these two cars, Njoji and Talari going at turn 10 side by side. Njoji almost getting pushed. Clean racing, I would say fair racing from this angle, and it was Talari who came out in front between these two cars. And right now again battle up front is still there. The gap is still 1 second. It's not changing. The pressure is still on. Anything can happen. It's just one mistake from either of these, and it's gonna be the race win for the other. But importantly, these two have almost created a gap of 17 seconds to the car in P3. It's just, you know, these two are just going.
They are just driving in their own little private battle through there. And you can see once again the gap is closing down to 6/10. So yeah, the gap is just ebbing and flowing through, but Kanak is holding on to that position for now. He is absorbing all that pressure.
Yep, and importantly, Hardik Pari has increased his pace, and he's also putting lap times of early 13s. Last lap he was faster than both the drivers in front. It might be late, but yeah, he's just proving that he was not slow. It's just maybe not getting the best of the days. As we see Salfi making a move on the McLaren of Kiran, and yep, and gets the move done. That was a very decent move.
Distant send, but fair play. He did stick it and took the apex, and yeah, didn't run the other car out. So aggressive fair, but I don't think Shivkin will be very happy about how the move was made.
Yep, turn 4, 5. I mean, that section in itself is, you know, something like the car is gonna run wide, so you just have to hold it. You just have to hold your line to make that move. Otherwise, just go, you know, to turn into the other car. And as we see,
Nikhil Joshi has fallen behind James Robin, who is now overtaking him again, and Bhagat Talari has cleared up way far up in distance. I'm not sure what happened to Nikhil Joshi. And behind we see the lap car of Jay Patil still trying to fight his way to see how far ahead he can get up to. And he goes down the inside, and this means that Nikhil Joshi is going to have a free run through, and he reclaims the position from James Robin.
yep, not sure what actually happened to N. Joji. Like, he has lost quite a bit of lap time to Talari, and now he's just you know, battling James Robin. Has he like cooked up his tires, or is there damage? I'm not sure, but yep, he's not getting the pace that he maybe was getting earlier at the race start, or
Yeah,
I would say in the
indeed.
first stint.
Indeed. Looks like there's a steep drop off. I'm not sure what's going on. Probably have to check after in our chart, but for now he had been putting pressure on Hardik Pari for quite a while in the race, but he's now back in P5 and he's resisting the advances of James Robin, who had the position, but again because of the blue flag interference had lost that place again. Now James Robin has to go over and do it all over again.
Yep, and up front, these two, Atul and Kanak, they are just going faster and faster lap by lap. We are still not sure who's gonna come out on top, because one lap it's Kanak who is faster, and the next lap it's Atul. So the battle is still on, and again, we are expecting, you know, a very climatic end for this race. So anything can happen.
That seems to be the case. These two guys are just firing in lap after lap after lap, and see Atul just sniffing that rear bumper. He just taking in those exhaust fumes of the car, just losing so much under the brakes. So it does look like he's so tantalizingly close to just take a position over the Corvette. He's just pulling away on the acceleration zones.
Yep, that Corvette is getting that advantage of the faster acceleration compared to the Lexus, but importantly, there's a blue flagged car in front of Kanak. Again, Atul would be hoping that there is something for him in this, and again it's slowing down, and the car just spins out. Importantly, it gives Atul the opportunity to make the move on Kanak. Kanak is still in front. Will he defend the inside here? But it will mess up his line approaching the exit of turn 10, and while approaching turn 1. Atul tries to make a move down the outside, and he clicks Kanak,
And he rolls back as well for good measure. That's not so good. Oh god.
My god. And luckily, these cars have a very good margin to the car behind. So they have not lost their place. It's still the way it is. It seems like Atul decided to not run away because he feels like maybe he was responsible. So maybe we can say a good sportsmanship to not run away and just let Kanak still keep that lead, as he might have felt like he was responsible for that bump.
That's good sportsmanship, but at the end of the day, the stewards not going to look at those things. The actions what matter. So he's going to be receiving a penalty anyway if that is deemed to be his fault. But that is to be removed by stewards later on. But yeah, I mean, going back to the lead battle, it's kind of petered out, I think. I mean, not exactly, but we don't have a lot of time left. There's only about 2.5 minutes left, and the gap has gone up to 1.2 seconds. So yeah, it does seem to be settled for now, unless there is another late twist in this fight.
Yep, the climax got over pretty early, I would say, for the race. So yep, I don't think that unless one of them makes a mistake, I believe the positions are settled between these two, and it's gonna end the way it is.
So indeed, Nikhil Joji makes another spin, and oh, I guess that explains why he's been losing time hand over fist. His tires are most likely just out and crying for mercy at this point.
Yep, and this particular section of 5, 6, 7 and 8 is very, very demanding on tires. If you do not have that grip, you can easily lose the car, because it's a very fast corner. You definitely test the grip levels that your car has. So yep, that's definitely something that is not gonna help his case.
This was the blue flag meddling that happened earlier, and Nikhil Joshi making his way through. So yeah, that definitely does look cool, but I don't think James Robin is going to be appreciating that fact. But at the end of the day, James Robin has made his way past Nikhil Joshi, and he's ahead at this point.
Yep, again, turn 1, the most common braking spots on this particular track. And as we see, Atul has again reduced that gap to Kanak. 2 more laps after this, and it's again for Atul, it will be turn 1, his best opportunity to make a move. He is close, seems like he got a much better exit compared to Kanak. The gap is almost 0.3. He will be getting that slipstream, and the race down to turn 1 won't be long, as they have already crossed the start finish line and they've already approached turn 1. Atul didn't gain as much as I thought. I believe it's acceleration of Corvette, like you mentioned. It's just pulling and pulling there.
Yep, Atul is making all the time the braking zone, and the Corvette is just making that little extra in the acceleration zones. You can see Kanak is just hugging that inside line. He's just not ready for the inside, because he knows that if Atul gets for that inside, he's going to outbrake him and take that place through. Atul is trying to take the switchback lines and cut through it, but the Corvette just has enough to stay ahead of it and defy that. These two guys are still going at it, and Atul is just hoping for one little gap that he can exploit, one little mistake. But so far, the car and the driver up ahead seem to be up for the fight.
Yep, it seems like Kanak has, I'm not sure if he has cooked his tires or what is the case, is a damage that he is losing that much time. But yep, he is not able to maintain his pace that he was doing earlier. It's still close. Atul is much closer, like you mentioned. The braking is just
I'm sorry.
going perfect.
The leaderboard just got scrambled. Really sorry for that.
No problem. The camera is just like, nope, you won't see this battle. But yep, the battle is still on, and let's see what's gonna happen at turn 1. I believe this is the best
sorry
opportunity.
to rain on your place. The race is over.
Is the race over already? Okay. Okay, this was the last lap. Yep, the race is over. And it's Kanak who takes the win for this race from Atul Bhaskar. An amazing race, I would say, between these two.
Yeah, it was indeed a very good race, and these two guys were just going at it for quite a while. And it did look like we're going to have a good lead battle. We did have a good lead battle, but maybe just not the way we might have expected it to be. But this is what it is at the end of the day.
Yep, and on P3 we have Hardik Pari. Again, he had his own race, got into a few battles at the race start, but after the pit stop, he's just chilling in his own world. As we see the car just doing some drifting at the race end. Did it manage to cross the start-finish line? Yep, it did. Looking at the leaderboard, we have Hardik Pari in P3, Talari in P4, Robin P5. Decent result for him. N. Joji, he was up at P4 but massively dropped his pace in second stint. Not sure what actually happened, but P6 for him, followed by Raj Modi, Aradhya Gupta, Salfi, Kiran rounding up our P10. So yeah, and I would say one of the biggest losers from this race today is maybe Jay Patil. What do you say, Deepak? Like he had such a good quali, but in the race, without like any of his fault, he ended up being P20 by the end of lap one.
Yeah, indeed, he did show some good quali pace, and even his race pace was good, but he was just stuck behind blue flag traffic and, well, had to just settle behind. He would definitely be very disappointed with how it went, and yeah, sometimes it's just how it is. The stars just don't align, and the racing gods just strike you down. That was unfortunately his day, but well, he's just gonna have to put his chin up, take the positives from this, and come back stronger for the next round. And hopefully, no stray break markers coming flying at him. But next time, but let's see.
Yep, that is definitely the case. A very, very interesting race for us, I would say. And now it's time to get our podium drivers in for the interviews and let's hear from them what actually happened in the race. So, we have our podium drivers in the interview box, and we will be starting off our interviews with the driver who finished in P3 in his Porsche, Hardik Pari. Hardik, can you hear us?
Yep.
So, I believe your race was, pretty chill in the second stint from what we saw. Can you give us a glimpse of what actually happened at the start because it was very very chaotic and you definitely was were battling I believe in Joji. So please just sum up your first stint what actually happened.
Well, I just breaking into turn one, just everything's normal. I'm not even trying to send it on anyone. And then suddenly I see a Corvette just flying on the right who hits me, and then I get wheel damage and also a dark yellow or orange suspension. So I was the entire first stint was with wheel damage. I had no pace and I couldn't do anything. And plus, I was trying to fuel save, so there was no point battling. And then second stint, I think anyways, my fuel ratio was wrong, so I had to adjust that, and then I overcompensated for that and screwed that up as well. So yeah, just not a good race to ride home. I mean, I could have been up there with these two guys fighting for P1, but yeah, the damage was just too much. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'll take a podium, with all that damage I had, I'll take a podium.
Yep, we could see based on the lap time, so you're confused what actually happened. But yep, you it makes it clear that the damage was not helping your case in first stint. But again, great result. Enjoy that podium, Hardik Pari, and you'll definitely get more chances come next race. So great job today.
Yeah, thanks.
Deepak, would you like to take our interviews for P2?
Indeed. So for a change of pace today, we got Atul in P2 rather than his usual P1. So hello Atul, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. Thank you for asking.
Right, so we did see that it got pretty tense between you and Kanak on the track. Like there was some contacts and there was some blue flag action going through. So just talk us through what happened through there.
Well, it was tense on track, but I was laughing in the VC with him. Uh, so actually, what happened was I had much better pace in the second stint. I think my tire was much in a better condition, and there were some blue flags things, and I caught up to him. And on the exit of the final corner, he spun. He was spinning on traction. He lost traction. He was spinning on throttle, and I gave him a nudge, and it would have ended really badly for him if I kept going, because I would spin him out. But yeah, I didn't want to do that. Wanted to have a fun race, good race till the end. And then yeah, just pulled over to the side, let him recover, and then we started off again.
Right. So also like in the pit stop strategy, also we noticed that you had stayed one more lap and you had gained a lot of time on the pit stop strategy because it was 5 and then after the pits it was like around 2 seconds. So what was your strategy? Was it like always to extend or was it just a spur of the moment thing that you did?
My strat is always to do exactly the opposite of what Kanak does, and he came into the pits one lap early. And I don't think he fuel saved enough, but yeah, he came back he pitted one lap earlier, and then I saw that, and then I kept going. That's it. There was literally no stat. I was just trying
Right.
to do what opposite of what he was doing. That's it.
That's right. That's right. I mean, he almost got too close. He almost took the win today, but still a fun race to watch. Honestly, I would say, and congratulations on the P2.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to P1. Danish, why don't you take this?
Yep, surely. Kanak, can you hear us?
Yeah.
So first of all, I would like to say a great lap in quali. It felt like it was enough, like midway itself for the pole position. So yep, great lap. And again, in the race, battling. Initially, you were just in a in your own league, having that 5 second gap to the cars behind. What actually happened in the pit stop? Like we saw Atul, pitting one lap later and almost reducing that gap of 5 seconds to almost 2 seconds. So was it just that extra lap and less fuel, or was it the tires as well that changed
No,
the?
nah, it was just blue flag traffic actually. Like when I went into the pits, I had like 0.8 laps of fuel remaining, fuel and energy. So the pit stop time wasn't actually the big difference. It was just the traffic in front. Like I'm about to lap them, but of course I can't overtake them at the pit lane entry, and they like broke 4 5 seconds earlier, like 500 meters too early, and I was holding 60 kmph for 200 meters before the pit board, so that cost me a large amount of there.
So was it the same case as you guys were approaching the end of the race while battling, because we saw a lot of blue flag cars in front and just coming between your and Atul way. So do you think that was the case, and it was not the maybe the tires or any damage on the car that was making Atul like come much closer to you?
I mean, there was some like interference, like I couldn't do my proper braking points because of the traffic in front. But also, it's just the Corvette versus a car like a Lexus, which is more of an race car versus Corvette. It's more of a quali car. It's very good when the tire wear is there, but once it goes away, it goes away. Like the rears will just chew up. It goes 10% below the front, and then suddenly, midway through the race, you will feel a ton of oversteer, and you have to compensate a lot for it and just drive slower. Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. But again, great result. In the end, it's a result that will matter. So, a great showing today, great performance, and congrats on that race win. Great job.
Thank you.
Yep. And by this, we round up our interviews for this race. Deepak, why don't you conclude our stream for today?
All right, so yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in, and thanks for all the participants who had showed up on a Monday night, and we did have a good showing. Yeah, huge thanks to our sponsors, Racins, for sponsoring the prize pool and getting this competition going. And do check out their website, racins.in. Use code IRC for a discount at the checkout. It will help us in the long run. And yep, and with that, it's me, Deepak, signing out. Along with me, it's Danish, and see you guys on another live stream soon. Bye bye.
Bye.